Hello, I'm Attorney Tiara, founder of Forever Legal. This presentation was recorded as part of the Forever Legal 2026 Internship Academy, a professional internship program for incoming law students. The following speaker is sharing professional insight and educational information with our cohort. Any views expressed are those of the individual speaker and do not represent their employers or affiliated organizations. References to companies, organizations, or brands are used for educational and illustrative purposes only. Erica Young is a dedicated labor and employment defense attorney focused on assisting employers and schools with employment litigation prevention and defense. She has represented employers and schools in state and federal courts and before various administrative agencies in litigation involving claims arising from state and federal laws that govern the employment relationship. Additionally, Erica has extensive experience with workplace investigations, conducting investigations for Fortune 500 companies, educational institutions, and public sector employers concerning claims of sexual harassment, retaliation, discrimination, and other inappropriate conduct. Prior to becoming an attorney, Erica taught high school world history and led the 9th grade team as an academic advisor at Lighthouse College Preparation Academy, located in Gary, Indiana. Throughout her time in Gary, Erica focused on developing her students both inside and outside of the classroom and provided a safe space for all students to learn, grow, adapt, and impact their community. As such, Erica also coached the girls and boys track and field and varsity cheerleading teams at Lighthouse. Erica holds a BA in political science with a minor in urban studies from the University of Michigan and a JD from Thurgood Marshall School of Law at Texas Southern University. She is the author of a published article focused on explaining the intersection between law and education, titled Black Girl Magic: Due Process and the Disappearance of Black Girls in Public Education. In 2023, she was recognized as a top 40 under 40 Black lawyer in Illinois by the National Association of Black Lawyers. Outside of work, Erica enjoys spending time with her nieces and nephews, binge watching movies with her dog Legend, and testing out great food at local restaurants. Erica is also an avid Michigan football fan and, of course, a forever friend of Forever Legal.
So, since you were featured in top 40 under 40, what do you feel like helped you get to that point? Like, what did you do to get to that point?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I would say a couple of things. Discipline is probably the number one thing, like just being very disciplined in my field. But I would also say discipline came with knowing what I wanted, right? Like I knew I wanted to go to law school. I knew after law school that I eventually wanted to get to big law. And I didn't start off in big law. I started off at a mid-sized boutique firm. And then I went to another boutique firm. That one was AmLaw 100, but it still was a boutique. So we only did labor and employment, which in the labor and employment field, the more prestigious firm is the boutique firm. But then I was like, I think it was a mix of chasing after prestige. I wanted to go full service big law, AmLaw 100. It was always something that I wanted to do. So, I knew what the goal was, and I knew that it would take a lot of discipline to get there. And so that meant that I was going to be putting in late nights. That meant I was going to be putting in long hours. I was going to be making a lot of sacrifices in my personal life to get where I wanted to get in my professional life. So it took a lot of discipline and knew what I wanted. I knew, like, once you know what you want to do, then you kind of got to just do everything you need to do to get there. And there are no shortcuts. That's the reality. The unfortunate reality of it, there are no shortcuts. Like, time is the one thing that you just have to put in. There is no way around it. So I knew what I wanted to do. I put in the work to do it, and I made the connections. I networked. I took my evenings and my weekends to go to events, and I did that. So I always start off with who am I? And I attended a conference once, and the speaker was like, who am I? And I expected her to say like, attorney, businesswoman. And she's like, that's not who I am. That's what I do. And I have developed that mindset. It has stuck with me to my core. So I always start off with who I am, because a lawyer is not just like that does not define me. And you will learn at some point in your career that one of the best things you can do for yourself is not define yourself by your job, because it will break you down to your core if you do. You have to figure out what your identity is outside of the things that seem prestigious or that like honestly just make you money or like your primary stream of income. So now what do? I'm a big law associate. I am a school board member. So I'm the vice chair of a K through 12 charter school board. I am a former teacher and coach. I try to be very intentional about taking time to mentor specifically young Black women who want to become an attorney. And I'm a woman trying to build her own path. And I don't want to be just any of those things. I want to be whatever I want to be when I want to be it. And my whole goal in life is to have the freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I took the risk. It was a risk to go from having a stable income as a teacher and doing that for 4 years to not having a job for 3 years. My parents are paying my bills and I'm a broke law student and I don't have time for anything. It's a risk, but I also think that low risk is low rewards. Typically, high risk are high rewards. I think you have to take a risk. You gotta, a Beyonce quote, like you gotta bet on yourself, because every time I'm a win. And then I trusted the process, and it was a process. I did that. And it's so easy to get wrapped in that because you want to keep that image and you want to keep the people happy and you want to give the people what they want, but that's breaking you down. And so you have to figure out who you are outside of that. And so that was a really tough identity shift for me. That was his first time with my family. We were out of town. I think it was like a 5-day trip. And I sat at the kitchen table for the first 2 days of the trip on my laptop. While everyone else is like working, he had to entertain my family, and he was, and I don't blame him. I do not blame him at all. But also, that is the sacrifice of the job. If I'm going on a birthday trip, like I am taking my laptop. Like and don't get me wrong, you can find a way to enjoy your life. But that comes with a sacrifice, right? So if I know that I'm going on a trip with my girls, then that means I have to be the first one up in the morning, because I got to spend at least the first 2 to 3 hours probably getting something done before I can enjoy the trip. And it's a very high chance that before we go to bed that night, I also got to turn around and do it. Or if I'm taking a 3-day trip and I really want to try to turn off for 3 days, that means I'm putting in 12-hour days, all the days leading up to it. And I don't think people really understand that sacrifice of law. And it's not just you that it impacts. I think that's another thing. It impacts the people around you, because they're not in the life and they didn't ask for it. So when they don't get to have dinner with you, or when Easter comes and you have to have your laptop out at the Easter dinner table, they're like, look, I didn't ask for this. I want to be with you. And I don't think people really, really understand that sacrifice.
Cohort and future cohort gonna feel like this is overwhelming. And I'm trying to tell them, I'm trying to show them and teach them, right, that you're going to be working. If you do not like this, if you don't like doing assignments and having deadlines and reading and actually like taking the time to brief, you don't need to go to law school. You're not gonna like the profession. That's just what it is. Like, every single attorney, if you're actually listening to what they're telling you, is saying the same thing, and they're literally in different practice groups. They're in different in-house, firm, big firm, small firm, solo.
When I became a lawyer, I built those habits in law school. Like in law school, I had a very strict schedule. Kind of what I told you, it's all about balance. During the week, like I'm studying, like I am in classes, I am studying, I am briefing cases, I am reviewing stuff, I am drafting whatever essays I have to do. Like I'm locked in. because on Saturdays, I want to go be with Bae. And so I'm going to be with Bae on Saturday. But like, I may not be able to see him throughout the week. And like, if I do, it may be like late at night, or we go to dinner, and then after dinner I go work. But like, it is challenging, and it does require a lot of discipline. But I started that discipline in law school. So when I transitioned to my career, like, I already had the habits of, it has to get done, and there is no excuse to get done. I think the biggest thing that will make you successful in this legal profession, more than, I would almost say more than the quality of your work, is being a woman of your word. But next in law school, really quickly, find your people and give yourself grace. It is hard. You are training your brain how to think in a different way than it's ever thought. Give yourself grace. Like, do not beat yourself up. You're gonna have, I'm telling you, you're gonna have nights crying. Like, you gonna call your people. If you went through law school and never once thought about like, I don't know if this is for me, you played around. Like, you're going to be like, what did I sign myself up for? Give yourself grace. That is okay. Everyone goes through it. You are strong. You are resilient. You will make it through. Just give yourself grace and find your people, because y'all all in it together. And there will be some people who will be competing with you, and you don't communicate with them. But there's going to be people who are going to be rooting for you. And those are the people you want to stay close to. Trust the process and take your ego out of it. Let me tell you something. If you do not like being told every single day that you did something wrong, don't be a lawyer. Every single day, probably for like the first 3 years of practice. Like, even now, I turned
beyond. What are you talking about? And beyond.
And beyond. I was just gonna say, even today, I turned in a settlement agreement. I have drafted probably like 30 settlement agreements. Early mornings, long hours, high expectations, but intentional balance. Like I said, I spend all of my mornings like doing the things that I need to do. I never miss a workout, pretty much. Like, I am very consistent with the gym. But what does an average day look like when I get to work? It depends on the day. It depends on what I'm working on, right? But typically I like to block off my time. So I always I call them power blocks. So I always have a 2-hour power block in the morning and a 2-hour power block in the evening, and that's where I don't have any meetings. So, this was a question that came up like 3 separate times. How do I protect my mental health in a high stress environment? You protect your peace. You don't take things personal. You realize that like most people in this field are just trying to do what's best for the client, and they're trying to do what's best for you themselves. It don't have nothing to do with you. I move my body every day. I am very into fitness, so I work out. I stay rooted in my faith. I try to read my Bible every morning. I pray when stuff get hard. For me, routines work really well. I create routines. I told you how I do my morning routine. I typically try to do like a wind down routine at night before I go to bed. And I depend on my village. Let me tell y'all, I cried this week. You learn to take it and move on, and don't let it hold you down, because if you let it hold you down, it's gonna stop you. So you just got to keep going, and you got to realize like you're bigger and you're better than what you're going through, right? It's the quote of like, there has never been a battle you face that you haven't won, ever. You're here. Like, you're here. You have never not made it through something. Start before you're ready. Consistency over perfection. I mentioned this earlier. I prefer someone who is consistent, someone who will always do what they say they will do, someone where I know what I can expect out of them, over someone who's perfect and unpredictable. Like, every time. Don't compare yourselves. Everyone has different paths. It may seem like your friends are doing better than you. Who cares? You don't know where they're going to be at in a couple years from now. Like, don't compare yourself. Apply for the job. Have the audacity to ask for the case. Have the audacity to be like, I see you have a client meeting. Can I sit in? Like, I just want to learn. Because let me tell you what will go really far. First off, attorneys love themselves. Attorneys love talking about themselves. They love themselves. They love when people love them. I don't know what is put in our brain in law school, but like, it is true. All of us love ourselves. So like, it would go so far if someone is like, hey, can I just like sit in on a call because I want to see how you handle this type of call. So if I'm working out in the morning, I start them at 5:30. If I am going to work out in the evening, I'll start it at 6. So typically it'd be a 5:30 to 9 or a 6 to 9. I don't start work till 9 o'clock most days. Now there are situations, like I said, where if I'm on an East Coast case, I just got to start earlier. That is what it is. Billable hours in big law, that's currency. That's how we build the clients. So if you are not entering the time that you are working on something, that means that is not being billed to the client, which means the client is not paying the firm, but the firm is still paying you it's like the firm is losing money essentially, because the firm is going to pay you your salary. So you're going to get your salary no matter what, but your salary is based on the expectation that you bill 2,000 hours in a year. So if you bill less than 2,000 hours in a year, but I paid you to do that, I'm losing money on you. You are not of value to me because I am not making as much money off of you as I should be based on what I'm paying you. And entering is so crucial, right? Because it's not just entering the hours. Like, you also have to be able to explain why the client should pay those hours. So like, if all I write is draft memorandum for what? Like, to use for what, right? Like, they got to understand that. If I say, determine strategy regarding discovery. What about discovery? What am I using that for? Why did that take you 3 hours? Like, you need to be able to justify what you're doing and why you're doing. I like to build in smaller increments because it gets cut off less. It gets written off less. And when I say write off, that means that you entered the time, but for some reason, whether your description of it wasn't strong or whether it feels ridiculous, like if I give a junior associate a research assignment that I know should have taken 3 hours and they take 5 hours, I'm writing off 2 of those hours because that should not have taken you 5 hours. And if it did take you 5 hours, then you didn't do a good job of explaining in your time entry why it took you 5 hours and why it added value to the case. If I am burnt out and I'm going to take a day off, typically the burnout came because I put in more than average hours for so long that my body was shutting down on me and I needed to. It didn't come from I was working 9 to 5 and then I'm burnt out. Like, that's not how that works.